Hello and greetings from Leesville Road High School Student Services Department. I am one of the counselors, and today I am going to go through some information that we have recently shared with our in-person freshmen. We picked this time of year to share this information with our freshmen as we have completed 1/4 of high school work, and it's a good time to reflect on where we've been and plan for where we want to go. So class of 2025, listen up. There's some important things we want to share with you. So first of all, we want to introduce ourselves and let you know all the different realms that we assist students with. They fall under 3 categories: academic, personal, social, and college and career. You see, under academic, we talk about things such as schedules, graduation requirements. If a student is having issues in a particular classroom, we can help brainstorm opportunities for improvement. Under personal social, we talk about all sorts of things such as friendships, relationships, issues that are going on in your families, cyberbullying, social media responsibility, bullying, all sorts of things that affect our students. And then finally, we work with students planning for their next phase of life once they graduate high school. That may be college, 2-year or 4-year. It may be a career. Perhaps they're looking at the military. But we talk about, keeping our options open and looking towards the future. So it's always good to know our ultimate goals and where we are going so that we can make sure we're staying on track along the way. This slide shares with you the graduation requirements for the class of 2025. You will see down at the bottom that there is a total of 26 credits that are required for graduation. If you think about it, students who spend their entire high school careers at Leesville Road High School have the opportunity to earn 32 credits. They take 8 classes a year for 4 years for a total of 32. However, only 26 are actually required. Within those 26, you see there are 4 Englishes required, 4 maths are required, 3 science credits, 4 social studies, and 1 health and PE credit. So of the 26 required credits, only 16 of those are laid out for students, meaning that all other credits are left to their choice. Now, many of our students will take world language electives, particularly if they are interested in having the opportunity to go directly to a 4-year university. Students may take classes in the arts. They may take classes under the career and technical education umbrella, such as marketing, core construction, business management, all sorts of interesting classes. Maybe students really like having movement in their day, so they will take additional physical education classes. So there's a variety of electives that students can take, but this is the big picture. We will meet with students every registration season, which is around February, to plan for the coming year and to keep them on track with the typical sequence of moving through the core requirements. So, I just told you how to graduate from high school, but let's take it one step at a time and look at what it takes to become a sophomore. Now, I mentioned to you that typically a student has the opportunity to earn 8 credits in 1 year. For a student to be promoted to the 10th grade, they need to earn 6 of those credits. Now, it's not just any 6. There's a particular formula. One of the 6 has to be English 1. Then the student has to accrue at least 2 credits in the other core areas. That can be a combination of math, science, or history credits. And then, just as a reminder, every single class here at Leesville Road High School yields 1 credit. So you get 1 credit for AP Calculus, just the same that you get 1 credit for foods or team sports. Every class is a credit. So you need 6 credits to be a sophomore. And again, that English is really like the gatekeeper to the next grade. That will be the case for every subsequent year as well. Here is a chart of things to do year by year. I'm not going to get into a lot of the details of the activities and responsibilities later on in one's high school career. I would like to just draw your attention mostly to the grade 9. This presentation was made in the spirit of encouraging students to start strong and getting off to a good start. Figure out how to get organized, develop study skills. We know that we're all coming off a very unique year and a half or so, and we're having to shake off the rust with how to do school again. So redeveloping those skills is a big thing to be doing this year. Get involved, join clubs, sports, the arts. Research shows that students who are involved in one of these aspects of high school tend to do better academically. Seek help when you need it. That may be from your teacher. You can also reach out to your counselors. We are just an email away. And then, like I mentioned, we will meet with you in around February to go over your course selections for grade 10. So as you see, there's no standardized tests that all 9th graders take. That will begin in the 10th grade with the pre-ACT. That is something that all 10th graders take. But we're not worrying about that in 9th grade. We're just focusing on these building blocks to have a successful high school career. So why are grades, attendance, and promotion important? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Of course, we want you to graduate on time. Our charge is to get students graduated in a 4-year time frame. Also, there are some privileges that come your way during high school that are tied directly to your grades. One of the big items for 9th and 10th graders is driver's ed and getting your permit, and then of course ultimately your license. Students must pass 3 of their 4 classes each semester in order to get or maintain their permit or license. So that is a big deal. If that is revoked from you, you will have to wait until the end of the next semester, the following semester, before you can pay to have that reinstated. So that's a big deal. Another big deal to many of our students is being athletically and academically eligible to play sports. The same rule applies. You have to pass 3 of 4 classes in order to be eligible for a sport. And the way that works is whatever the season that your sport occurs in, eligibility is determined by looking at the previous season. So for example, let's say you are a women's soccer player and that is a sport that occurs in the spring. Well, we are looking at your fall semester grades to see if you are eligible to play. So that is how grades are tied to sports. As you get older, and you guys may have noticed the upperclassmen leaving campus to go to lunch. You have to be promoted to junior status, 11th grade, in order to have that privilege. And of course, that is all contingent upon the earning of certain credits and being promoted from grade to grade over the year. So that might be a big important deal to you. As I mentioned earlier in talking about the graduation requirements, only 16 of your classes are spelled out for you. Now, if you clog up all of your class slots having to retake core courses, then you're not going to have the opportunity to take advantage of all the interesting, creative electives that we have here. So I encourage you to pass your core classes the first time so that you have more elective choices. Keeping a good GPA, which is a grade point average, is very important, and we're going to get into a little more of that later. And that goes hand in hand with having a strong high school transcript for colleges or scholarships. And the idea here is to be opening options and creating options for yourself. So, what is a high school transcript? Now, technically, you guys, as freshmen, you really don't even have a transcript quite yet, or not one that has a lot of information on it, because the only grades that go on a transcript are your final grade for the courses. Quarter grades Do not go on a transcript. So it will be January, mid-January, late January, once we finish these first semester classes and your grades are plugged into your transcript before you have one that has a lot of information. So it is a record of all the courses you've taken, your final grades, your GPA will be calculated on there. Colleges, scholarships, some employers look at transcripts to get a good picture of the type of student you are. And a strong transcript and a good GPA, again, increases your chances of getting accepted into college and can open up the options for you as to the ones you're qualified to apply for. Excuse me, didn't mean to hit that. Okay, so here is what a transcript looks like. Now this transcript belongs to a senior, and I know that because I can see their 9th grade year classes and grades, 10th grade year, 11th grade year, and then I see their 12th grade year in the second column here. There's no grades there because it must be that we are in the first semester and no grades have been entered yet. This is what your transcript will look like as we move through the years. This meat part of the transcript where your classes and grades are grows and grows as you move through the different grade levels. So you see the classes are listed, the grades that were earned, and then you see in the middle couple of columns, these are called GPA points or quality points, and we're going to get into where those numbers come from, but that does become important. You can also see on the bottom of the second column here, performance information. That is where your GPA is housed and calculated, as well as your class rank. And class rank takes all of the students in your grade level and ranks them from 1 to the end of the class, starting with the highest GPA down to the lowest. So you want your number to be closer to 1 than you do the end of the number of kids in the class. We will go over this with you, your transcript, every February when we sit down with you. Okay, so what is your GPA and how do you calculate it? So one of the main things to understand about a GPA is that when you turn your grades earned in the class into GPA points, you are using 3 different scales depending on the level of the class. We have standard level classes, honors level classes, and AP level classes. And underneath each of those headings, you can see the GPA points that are associated with the grade made in the class. So an A in a standard level class gets you 4 GPA points. An A in an honors level class gets you 4.5 points, so a little more. And then an A in an AP or advanced placement, which is a college level class, gets you 5 points. So again, there's another little bump up. So you can see you are getting what I like to call bonus points for taking more rigorous courses. So what I would like to talk you through right now is an example of how to calculate your GPA. Now again, remember, we are not at the end of the semester, so technically we don't have final grades. But if you were to use the quarter grades, the ones that were just on your report card, and let's pretend they're your semester grades, let's see what your GPA would be. So what you can do is get out a piece of paper, and the first thing I would suggest you do is write down the 4 classes that you are taking this semester. You can abbreviate, you don't have to write the whole list, but what you do need to do is indicate if it is an honors level class, or maybe some of you are taking an AP class like AP World History. So make sure you designate the level of the class by it. In the next column, I want you to write down the grade you earned for the first quarter. Now, I'll give you a little tip here. You can just write the letter grade. You don't have to write down if it was an 85 or an 83. You can just write down a B, because all of the grades within a certain range are going to yield the same amount of GPA points. So you don't have to worry about the specifics, but write down the grade, the letter grade that you earned for the quarter. Okay, so now what you have to do is turn those letter grades into GPA points. And you can do that by using those different charts that we went over a little while ago. Remember, an A in a standard level class gets you 4 points, an A in an honors class gets you 4.5 points, and an A in an AP class gets you 5 points. So I'm going to show you an example that I worked out so you can follow along. And then we'll get to the final calculation. So let's say I'm a student who was taking Honors English 1, Health and PE, Foods 1, and Honors Math Plus. And then I wrote down my grades. I got a B in Honors English 1, I got an A in Health and PE, I got a B in Foods 1, and I earned a C in Honors Math Plus. So I have turned all of those letter grades into GPA points based on those different charts. Okay? My B in an honors level course for English got me 3.5 points. An A in that standard level Health and PE got me 4 points. The B in the standard level Foods class got me 3 points. And the C I earned in Honors Math Plus got me 2.5. So now what you have to do is add all of those GPA points together, which I did, and I came up with 13. And then you have to divide by the total of number of classes attempted. I attempted 4 classes, so I say 13 divided by 4 equals 3.25. That is my GPA. Now, I do want to point out that you have to divide by the total number of classes you attempted. So in the event you had a bump up and you failed a class, even though you will not get any GPA points for an F in a class, you still have to count that class in the total number of courses you took when you are dividing by the number. So you can see how earning 0 points and then having to divide it can really impact and lower your GPA. Now I did make a little point that this is called a weighted GPA because of those extra weight or bonus points that were awarded for more rigorous courses. So, we like to share this with students just to give a general ballpark. So let's say that the GPA you just calculated is the GPA that you have at the end of your junior year and when you're going into your senior year and it's time to apply to college if you are interested in going straight to a 4-year school. So looking at this chart, these are the public schools in the UNC system. So look at what your GPA is and kind of see if you have a lot of doors open for you or not, and that you want to work on opening more. The whole point of this exercise is so that you can see and get a good ballpark idea of what is needed to go to some of these colleges and universities and continue to create options for yourself. Okay, so perhaps after doing this, you realize that you want to bump things up a notch, which is great. And I do want to mention right quick how a final grade for particular courses are calculated. Quarter 1 counts as 40% of your grade. Quarter 2 counts as 20% of your, Quarter 2 counts as 40% of your grade. And then your final exam will count for 20% of your grade. So the point being, yes, we have finished quarter 1, but there is still 60% left of your grade yet to be earned, the second quarter and your final exam. So there is definitely time to make some changes to get your grades up if you need to do so. So here are just some tips. None of this is magical. It's kind of just about doing the work. Coming to school is important. Get organized, staying on top of your Google Classroom or your agendas, whatever you use. Check your Power School, looking for missing assignments. Do your makeup work if you have to be out. Plan for absences if you know that your family's going on a trip for a couple of days. Talk to your teachers ahead of time and get your assignments so you won't feel so overwhelmed upon your return. Do it over. A lot of teachers allow test corrections. Ask for help. I know that is hard, but will be one of the biggest keys to your success. And then we also do offer peer tutoring here at Leesville during the lunch periods every day of the week during both lunches in room 203. So seek that if you need that help. Okay. We are not going to do this quiz. This was something we did live. It was just kind of a recap, but I appreciate your attention and your interest in this information. If you have any questions, please reach out to your counselor. We're happy to help. We really, really want all of you to get off to a good start. Many of us have done this job for many years, and we have sat with seniors time and time again who tell us that they wish they had better understood how high school works and how it's all cumulative, and that they wish they had gotten off to a stronger start. We don't want you to dig a hole that you're having to, claw your way out of for the next 3 years. So put in the work. We're happy to help you in any way we can. So take care. Let's finish the first semester of your freshman year strong, and we look forward to working with you for the remainder of your high school career. Thank you.